All right, welcome in. I'm gonna get this ad break out of the way so we can work undisturbed for the next hour, and we'll get this thing started.
It's time to take a short break. Stand up, stretch and hydrate.
Well, that's a bit off, isn't it?
Welcome back. Let's get to it.
All right, welcome in. Happy Tuesday, folks. I hope your week is off to a good start. And welcome in. Thank you for joining. If you're watching on the VOD, of course, kick back, put whatever music you so choose on and enjoy. We're going to be listening to the classic rock summer playlist. That's been treating us pretty well. And back to it on the Jerboa today. Gonna finish this guy up. Of course, yesterday we did his back stripes ever so subtly, which is good because that's how I wanted it. We went over with some dry brushing. We did some detailing up here with the lines and darkening the tips. What else? Finished up cleaning up some line detail, all that good stuff. Today we finish him. And on Thursday we finish the base and assemble it, and the project is done. That is the plan. It's been a long road on this guy. Quite a long road. Jazzy Jaffa, hello, welcome in. Good morning. Good afternoon, I suppose, right? Yeah, well, actually, probably close to the evening for you, huh? The day's getting away from me. So, yeah, we'll be finishing this guy up this week, like entirely. I did not intend to be working on this one project all summer long. But it is the biggest project I've ever done. I have no real metric to measure by as far as that goes. And we took as long as it needed, right? So, yeah, we're going to, like I said, finish up everything we need to do on this guy today, hopefully. And then Thursday, we finish up the base. If not, doing a little bit of work on that today. We'll see, though. I'm not entirely sure. At the very least, I may sand down the trim around the edges of the base and get a final coat of black paint on there. But we'll see. We'll see how far we get. Not a lot to do on this guy today. Maybe just a few odds and ends. Primarily, though, we need to hit it with a dry brush once again on the back there, and varnish and whiskers. That's what we got going on. And did I grab? I did not. Give me 1 second. I need to grab my my gloss varnish for the nails. All right, got that. Yep, evening 5 p.m. here. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's got to be like 5, 6 your way. So yeah, happy Tuesday to you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, kicking the stream off with me today. And apologies in advance if I sound a little bit low energy today. Truth be told, I am. But there is work to be done, and I really don't like canceling streams, you know. And I already had too much of that in the last couple weeks with me not feeling well, so I think it's this heat primarily. God, I'm so sick of it. Sick of it. It's too damn hot. And I even have AC, you know? It's we try to keep it on a respectable temperature though, and it's one of those days out there today that you just walk outside and it takes your breath away. The humidity is quite awful. And that's the worst, isn't it? Like heat is bad enough, but heat is at least moderately tolerable. It's the humidity that I can't stand. Let's see if we can reuse these gloves, maybe, possibly. Look at this mess. What? One more finger. Can we do it? Trying to untangle a knot here. My goodness. Okay. Where should we start? I think we should start with a little bit of dry brush there, huh? And if I'm not mistaken, actually, I take that back. I'm going to touch this up a tiny little bit. And then we'll mix that paint as needed for the dry brush. We won't have to use much paint at all that way, so. You got this? Yeah, I got it. Let's go over here. Let me move this light a little bit. And through the weekend, I'm going to have to get my references ready for Oblina, our next project. I'm trying to like be somewhat excited about it, the Oblina project, but I'll tell you, after doing something so hyper detailed and everything, it seems super plain to me, and kind of feeling mixed about it. But I got to complete the trio, right? So Am I using the right color? It's gotta be. Put a little bit of fluid medium in there. Mix that up and but yeah, hopefully everything's going well. Getting settled in after the move and all that. Moving is quite a job. When I moved into this house, you know, I honestly did pretty well. It was just me mostly. And then I had a friend help me one day on the final day of the move just to get the big stuff. But everything else I pretty much moved by myself. And I handled it pretty well. I got it taken care of pretty well. But then, of course, once I moved in, it was painting and painting and painting. And boy, I don't really ever care to paint ever again. Unfortunately, I have to. This is a darker gray. I must have used a mix. Oh dear. All I've done is paint for the last 3 weeks. It's the worst. I mean, on the bright side, once it's done, you've got years that you don't have to worry about unless, like me, you decide you don't like a color and you just stare at it continuously and it drives you crazy until eventually I'll break and repaint everything. But I my hallways specific this is not right, is it? Um my hallway into my foyer and my living room, it's a huge amount of wall space. And I'm gonna throw a little bit of white in here. I am not happy with this. But yeah, I painted it all. It was called Network Gray, and it was supposed to be a light shade of gray. But now that I got it on my walls, there's a blue hue to it, and I don't like it, and I never have. And it's been there for 5-6 years now, and I'm about to just break down and paint over it. Problem is, I still need to paint my kitchen. That's how much I got sick of painting. It's been 6 years, and I'm just like, I'll do it next year. In fact, I had intended to do all of that in March, April of this year. That did not happen. So, plenty of time next year, right? Yep. And now I'm like, oh God, when I do this stuff, then how am I going to stream also? I might have to take a break, probably, which is more discouragement. One day. Although I'm getting to a point where I'm just like, should I just pay somebody? Guys, I don't like this color. That's not right. That's not right at all. What did we do? Am I missing a gray? Am I losing my mind? I feel like I am. Where did I put that color? Serves me right for trying to clean up a mess before I'm done. IRL stream painting your walls. Yeah, I goofed. I was using the wrong paint. I think the worst thing was to see. Oh god, yeah, painting ceilings is awful. And I thought I did such a good job when I finally got mine done. And now I see spots where I missed it, and I'm like, how? So now when I repaint my walls, I'm also going to be repainting the ceiling in the living room. To my credit, it's a massive amount of space, and the lighting kind of sucks. The way that the light comes in different angles, it makes it very difficult to see. Like, it looked like everything was covered until certain lighting happens. And next time I'm going to use a floodlight. I thought, nah, I've got good vision. I'll be fine. But light plays tricks with you when you're painting. Between wet paint and the light, it can be super easy to miss, especially when you're painting with like bright colors, like lights and like a white or light grays and things like that. When I bought the house, I painted my daughter's room black and red, her choice. She wanted it all black. I said, no, that's not happening. So we did 3 walls in red with an accent wall in black and white trim. It looks sharp. I'm really happy with how it turned out. But man, painting red over white walls, it took so many coats. Oh my god. Because for a while I was freaking out because the walls looked pink, you know? I kept it simple in my office. I went with a nice peppercorn, almost like this. Well, I mean, you can see it on that camera. I love that color. It's so nice. I like my room to be dimly lit. That's my comfort space. And that color on the walls just makes it super, super comfy, you know? Anybody comes into my house, they probably think I'm a freaking vampire, though, because I hardly ever have lights on unless I'm in the room, and then even then it's dim. But I don't know. I have better than perfect, whatever that is. You know, I can read the entire eye chart, but I have light, like my eyes are pretty sensitive to light. Um, so I don't like a lot of bright lights and bright colors. Plus, apparently, like, bright lighting and certain kinds of lighting cause issues with anxiety. It's probably why going into like big box stores is absolute hell, because of the kind of lighting that they use. Ever use the main lights? Always lamps if I want a light on. Yeah. Overhead lights are too much. It's overkill. Yeah, unless I'm like really trying to, I'll occasionally turn the overhead light on when I'm like dusting or vacuuming and whatnot, just to see better. But other than that, they stay off. All right, I think that's good on that. I just wasn't happy with the shape on that. Yeah, like I said, it'll probably be a shorter stream today. Arguably, I could probably just make it a long stream and finish him up entirely today, but I don't really want to do that. For one, I don't really want to be streaming until... Do I even have water in here? No, I do not. I'll be right back. There. It kind of helps to have water in your water cup. But yeah, I don't really want to stream until 5 or 6 o'clock and push myself to finish it today, and then inevitably end up rushing a few things. Plus, I want to make sure we have stuff to do on Thursday. And if I feel like it's going to be a good way to close out the week that way, finish up a project, and then give me a weekend to rest and get references in order to start a new project on a new week. I want very little paint left on this. Just ever so slight. I just wanted to make sure we had a little bit. It was kind of lacking through the back area, so just to make it a little bit more uniform. Okay. Kind of want to give something a little bit of a try, but let me. Brush is a little bit dry. I did hear some good news last night. I'm excited. I've been trying to keep up with all the Comic-Con stuff, but man, I got over indulged with so much Marvel news that keeping up with everything else was a bit of a task. And then it all just kind of got lost in the fold between Star Trek stuff and then last night I stumbled across a thing from Comic-Con that I had not seen and wasn't even aware they were there. Dexter. And oh my god, I'm so excited. As a matter of fact, we don't even have to wait long because we get more Dexter in December. With a brand new series called Original Sin that takes place in 1991 with a younger Dexter. Michael C. Hall will be doing the inner dialogue and narration. Younger actor, of course, playing Dexter. And I can't wait. And then also, Dexter Resurrection, which is coming at some point. I'm a big fan of that show. I love that show so much, and I can't wait. Okay. I think painting wise, I think we're about done. I've thought about like dry brushing a bit more over this, but then I feel like it's gonna get too it's gonna be too much. We'll let the light do the highlighting and the shadowing. I'm gonna get a couple of my little cups also. Give me 1 second. And what brush? I don't want to use a good brush. Those are our two varnish candidates there. We're gonna start with the gloss, the claws. I don't think I've even opened this yet, so And let me turn the fan off because I feel like when the fan is on, the varnish, it makes it dry too quickly, especially the matte varnish, and you end up with a shine. At least that's my theory. I use that matte varnish on everything, and it's always fine. But I used it on one project, and it was either I didn't shake it well enough, or because the fan was on it, and it dried shiny. We don't want shiny. Well, technically for this part we do, but little tiny bit of this stuff goes a long way, so. All right, gloss is done. Going to bed soon, just flying by to say Sculpt is looking alive. Hey, Red Ticket, what's up? And thank you. Yeah, we'll be finishing up at least the Jerboa portion today. And then Thursday, I'll be finishing up the base and then getting them all together and finishing the project. So, oh, well. But yeah, thank you. I'm really debating hitting him with a varnish. I don't know, man. What do we think? Outside of the nails, of course. Have you tried Deco Art Ultra Matte? No, I've got a matte varnish by Liquitex, and it's really great. And it's a nice matte, but I don't know if I want to do that or not on this guy. I used a gloss on the nails, but if I do, obviously go over the body with a varnish, it's gonna be a matte finish. I have a matte by the same brand. Deco Art one's nicer in my opinion. Oh, really? Yeah, I've had this for quite some time. I'm not even halfway done with it yet. Hey, Kit Angel Arts, welcome in. And thank you. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, never mind. I forgot that the slash shoutout command doesn't work through my bot, so I have to do it in text chat on Twitch. Folks, linked in the chat, Kit Angel Arts, another creator here on Twitch. Definitely show some love. Check out her stream. Hope you're doing well. We're almost done, Kit. Finishing up the Jerboa today and the base and assembly on Thursday. I'm just debating right now if I want to go over, like I hit the nails with a gloss varnish just now, but I'm not sure if I want to do the body with a matte or just leave it. Normally I do varnish everything, but given all of the texture and I'm just a little bit, like also I don't know if the varnish is going to stiffen this and make it more susceptible to chipping and breaking, you know? Do I airbrush? No, Red Ticket. I would like to, but honestly, airbrushing terrifies me. And the idea of having to clean that thing all the time sounds really obnoxious. It sounds like it takes a, you know, obviously with base coats especially, that would save a lot of time, but then it's kind of eating up the time with cleaning, you know? So are you really saving time? Eh. I use it far less than I thought I would. See, that's where I'm at. Like, I'd love to get one and give it a go, but then it feels like I'd just be throwing money out because I don't think that I'd like it. And also, I already know that when it comes down to it, I'm going to look at it like, okay, I could use the airbrush and then spend 5 to 10 minutes cleaning it routinely every so often. Or I could just do what I normally do, you know? And I feel like the latter is going to win out more often than not. Yeah, base coats and varnish, yeah. Plus, as far as airbrushing goes on stream, I can't airbrush in this room. I've got cage a cage over here with our 2 rats in it, and nothing in here is that I use is a problem with them, with the exception of UV resin. But I use such a small amount of that at a time that it doesn't even bother me. And they're on the other side of the room. But like airbrushing and stuff, I wouldn't want to do that in here for that reason. My computer, you know, equipment and stuff. Nah. One big rat on cam. Got mine for priming, varnishing, etc. I've not even used it yet. Yeah, like primer and base coats and stuff. Yeah, that would be huge. But I don't know. Maybe one day. We did his back stripes, ever so subtle back stripes yesterday. In fact, you can see them better. And I did that like I mentioned. We took painter's tape and then I got our little pattern in there drawn in and cut it out with the hobby knife and just placed the tape over and dry brushed over top there. I am not by any means an expert painter, but I feel like given the challenges that this guy presented, I think I did pretty decent. I'm happy with it. And initially I wanted him to be the darks to be a little bit lighter, but I kind of like the darker look. In fact, it's still not quite as dark as my one reference, which is kind of reddish, but as my printer, for whatever reason, decided to do that. But I can't and shouldn't use rattle cans even with masks. My asthma's too bad. Yeah, I've always hated spray paint fumes. I've never been a fan. Oh god, it's horrid. What do you guys think? Should we matte varnish the body? Now, I kind of want to get like a enclosed case for displaying this guy, but which was why I'm kind of like maybe I won't, because if he's going to be covered, I don't really have to worry about it, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm like you, Kit. I'm an overprotector. Typically, I always varnish everything. I'm just kind of nervous about this guy. Maybe we'll just kind of hit him with a light coat. I did his ears. It was kind of an essential step halfway in between, because I did like 10 different washes over the ears to get that marbling kind of different colored layer effect. We started light. I worked in some reds and purples and then got to the dark tone that we have here. And you can't, it doesn't really show on camera very well, but in person you see the little speckle marbling, you know. It's super great process for doing ears, I've found, and I really like doing that. And halfway through, I'll do a matte varnish just to set everything in place, you know. Get acrylic cases from Temu. I know we shouldn't use that site, but it's the only way I can afford display boxes. Yeah, I want to go. I hate to say it. I hate to even give them business, but and I try not to when possible. One of the two hobby shops that I have near me is Hobby Lobby, and I was gonna check there and see what they've got as far as that goes. Um, but I typically try to only give them my business when it's the rare occasion I need some varnishes and whatnot or brushes so I can be there firsthand to see if I, you know. And then occasionally some of my flock and stuff like that. Although the other hobby shop carries it too, so if I can, I get it there. They're not private, but they're like a smaller chain. Hobby Force, I think, is what they're called. But they primarily cater to model builders and like build your own RC car type stuff, like the high powered ones. Matte varnishes are my go to. 50 pounds plus or 13 pounds from Temu. Yeah. Well, like Minchie was saying, why don't you just get some acrylic or fiberglass and cut it and make it yourself? I was like, well, then I'd like it to be all uniform, like one piece type system, because, you know, if sure I can make them myself, but it's going to look like a freaking aquarium with the silicone and everything, you know? What? We're under what? Apparently we're under a severe weather watch all of a sudden. Let me see something. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let me look at the radar. Oh, hopefully that goes around us later. Okay, we're gonna lightly matte varnish this guy. I have no way to cut it. Yeah, I've got a couple saws that I could use, but again, you know, to construct the shell, you'd have to put the pieces together with a silicone or something. I'm gonna shake that a bit more. Warhammer and World War II kits, nice. No brainer. A couple hundred you can live off being that I'm disabled. Yeah, I get that. I understand. Eventually, the problem is, so when I bought my house, it was just me, right? And it has a two car garage. It was far more than enough. I had all the space I could ever want. Um, and then Minchie moved in, and now the second car. It's a wonder I can even get my mower in the garage now. And I don't really have a proper space to put like my table saws and stuff. Eventually, I'd like to just make my own bases and stuff like that, but maybe one day, you know? Let's go ahead and switch back to. My model shop is also super nice. Yeah, they're really good people in the hobby shop that I go to. Like I said, it's just a little bit limited on supplies. I can get my flock and stuff like that. If I ever need balsa wood, they sell sheets of that. And various wood trim pieces and stuff that I could use for miniature builds and stuff if I ever go that route. So I make do where I can to support, you know. It's great that stores like that still exist, you know, in a world where we've lost our Radio Shacks and stuff like that. Um, and you know, they don't inject their politics into their business, so that's always a plus. Not the only reason I hate going to Hobby Lobby. I also have an uncanny ability of going to Hobby Lobby on the worst possible days. Where people are like lined up to the back of the frickin' store because it's like the first day of a 50% off decoration sale. Or it's like, man, I'm just here for art supplies, you know, what this store's supposed to be about. Can I like just pay for my shit and go, please? All right. Yeah, no worries. No worries. We'll be here. Then once we get the varnish on here, we'll let this guy dry for a few. And then we'll start working on whiskers. And hopefully I'll be finished with this guy before these storms roll through. Should be. Like I said, much shorter stream today probably than usual. At the very least, I may, depending on how long the whiskers take, I might sand the glue off the sides of the base there, like I said, and get a final coat of black paint on that. Oh man, I should have done his belly first. Well, let's get his appendages and I need to turn this fan off again. Shit. There we go. Or not. There we go. I said I'm not sure what it was, or if it was a combination of the two when I ended up with a shiny matte finish. I don't know if it was just a matter of not shaking it enough or if it was drying too quick because a fan was on it. But I'm going to eliminate both possibilities, you know? I don't want a shiny Jerboa. I don't know how far I went down here, so I'm just going to hit this again. And then base of the tail and work our way up the tail. What matte varnish? It's Liquitex. Yeah, it's been a really good varnish. I just had one issue with it out of all the projects because, like I said, I use this on everything. But I had one project when I first started out, and I'm not sure why, but he ended up shiny. And it's either a matter of I didn't shake it up or shake it up good enough, or the fact that a fan was on and it dried too fast. And I don't know which is which was the problem there. But I haven't had any issues with it since, because I've made sure, you know, I shake it up well and I keep the fan off while it's drying, and haven't seen that problem again. This is it's a pretty good varnish. It goes on nice. It goes a long way. Like I said, that's the only bottle I've ever bought, and it's not even halfway gone yet. And I think it was like $8. And I use their gloss varnish, which you can see is glossy for sure. And I also have their fluid medium. which I only started using in this project, mostly at the insistence of YouTubers that I've watched that basically say if you don't dilute your paints, you're an idiot. And I've come to disagree with them, and I think that there's a time and a place. Like 90% of the time, I'm going to add a little bit, of course, but I think sometimes straight paint is fine. Just control how much you put on your brush, you know? And yeah, time and place. That's my conclusion. I think most of the time it's fine, but I think certain areas adding a fluid medium or thinning out your paints just makes things a little bit more difficult, and sometimes doesn't even give you the best result. But you know, that's just my experience and my opinion. So we're all entitled to, like I said, you know, I always tell everybody, you know, one of the best ways that I found to learn new things is to find somebody that I enjoy watching that does it well. And then not necessarily follow everything they say to a T, but experiment and find what works for you, you know? Use that as a lesson and a guide and then go from there. All right. He's going to have to dry for a minute before I try to do. We should have done the underneath there first, but I wasn't thinking about it. So we'll do that in the feet after he dries for a minute there. And I'm really hoping I don't need to find a needle because I'm not entirely sure where I put them.
It's time to take a short break. Stand up, stretch and hydrate.
Well then, all right, already. That fur texture is gorgeous. Thank you. Yeah, it was an experience. I'm gonna be using it again in the future. But I'll probably give myself a little break before I ever venture back down that path, you know. Okay. While that's drying, let me step over here and see if. Man, where did I put? Actually, you know what? I might have it in my toolbox. Let me take a look. Nope, not seeing it there. Let me check over here. Well, I didn't find my little sewing kit. I'm not sure where I put that, but I did find a safety pin. Container of safety pins. And just in case I need to poke the holes for the whiskers any larger. And I'm going to set that over here so I don't stab myself and or lose it. Remember your oh shoot, yeah. Ad starting soon. Folks, we got an ad break coming up. I'm completely spaced out there on that. 3 minutes on the ad break, and then we'll get right back to it. Thank you guys for being here. It's a great time to stand up, stretch, grab a drink, grab a snack, any of that stuff. I'm going to grab a stretch real quick, and I'll see you guys back here in just a few. Kit, thank you for reminding me. And I will see you guys back here after the ads. By the way, when we get back, I'll show you guys something funny. I thought it was funny anyway.
Welcome back.
Ah,
Let's get to it.
it played too soon. Welcome back. Welcome back. I was gonna show you guys something I found. Another sculptor, an artist, he made this video. I thought it was pretty funny. Let's hop over here. I'm gonna pause the, hold on a second. Pause the music. All right. Yeah, I thought this, trying to be an artist in 2024.
Brother, you are. What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that? Brother, what's that, brother? Brother, what's that? Brother, what's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? What's that?
Yeah, it do be like that though. Oh boy. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Let me get the music back on here. And let me get my stuff all back the way it was. Okay. Modern art hurts my brain too. I think my favorite was the banana taped to a wall. Love your transition stingers. Thank you. I can't take credit for that. I found that online for purchase for a few bucks, and I was like, I can make one, but like that one's great, so here's some money. Typically I try to make all my own stuff, but some of it I've been able to understand, but most of the time I just don't get it. Yeah, that guy with the buckets, okay, all of his stuff is super weird and kind of dumb, but there is one thing that he did. It was more of like, I would consider it more along the lines of performance art, where it was like a high set of stairs, and for each step he took, he'd fall down on a trampoline and bounce back up. You know what I mean? And like, the message there is clear. And I don't know, that one I actually found somewhat moving in a way. But most of that stuff is just like, what are you doing? Kind of silly. Like he did another exhibit where it was like all these cross channels and all, and he was in a canoe. What? What? I want to make one that fits with my theme, but I'm not managing to animate properly. It's hard. Animation is hard. And I have yet to allow myself time to sit down and learn new software. Like I've been editing videos since it was on analog decks and VHS. And that was my high school video production experience. We were still on analog editing, right? And then digital came out, and semi self-taught myself that with a little bit of formal mixed in. But I've been using, and all the reason, any reason I have to make a video for anything, I've used just Sony Vegas, because, or I'm sorry, Vegas Movie Studio. It does what I need it to do, and it's always worked. and I don't have to pay a subscription fee, because that's when Adobe lost me, is when they switched over to a subscription model. Nope. I'll pass, you know. I switched over to using Affinity instead of Photoshop. But I've never given myself proper time to like try to sit down and learn DaVinci Resolve or anything like that. And I really need to. It just feels like time that I could be spending on something else. And it's hard to justify learning time sometimes, even though it's necessary. And we should very much allow ourselves those opportunities. It's when I've got a project list of all these things I want to do and not enough time to ever possibly take on all of those ideas, that makes it all the more difficult to spend time doing something that's anything but that. And I need to change that. I really do. Been using the free version of CapCut to make short videos. DaVinci Resolve is free too. So I really have no excuse. I actually I've had it on my computer for a while. Every time I open it though and start messing around with it, I'm just like, I don't want to do this. Or, you know, like I have a showcase. I'm like, I should really just edit it in Resolve and learn while I edit. Because, I mean, the basics are the basics, regardless of what software you're using. It's going to be fundamentally the same with different shortcuts, maybe some different functionality, but principally it's the same thing. And I know that. But even still, I'm like, I'm just going to use what I'm comfortable with. Sir, where are you going? Hey. In your bed. Don't need to go lay out in the middle of the hallway. Trying to break my dog of, well, all sorts of things, but one thing that he does that is incredibly annoying is he lays right in the middle of the damn hallway. So not only is he constantly in the way, but at night, I mean, he's black, so he blends right into the shadows, and we trip over him all the freaking time. Okay. Bed. We're so terrible making him lay in a comfortable bed. Awful, awful people. He is, he's quite the handful. I got him from the shelter. He was about a year and a half to 2.5 years old. They weren't really sure. He's a shepherd and lab mix. Not sure what his history was. They picked him up stray. It's become evident that he's had a history, particularly possibly with men. Because for the longest time, I haven't seen him any issues with it for a while, thankfully. But man, for the longest time, if you so much as like raised your voice to correct him, you know, there's submissive P everywhere, all through the freaking house. So not sure what his history is there, but having to deal with that. And then I've got an anxiety disorder, and he's got separation anxiety. He doesn't leave my side. Like, I can't leave the room without him following me, which is kind of endearing, but also when you're dealing with that all day, every day, that's enough to put you in a straitjacket. Okay. It's you, even Jerboa. What's up, Kraft? How's it going, man? We're gonna let this varnish dry for a minute, and then whiskers. We have a collie. She always follows everywhere. Yeah. It's so Menchie, my partner, she thought I was exaggerating about him when I tell her, like, you know, we'd be talking and I'd have to yell at him to go lay down or stop following me or get out of the way. Or oh, poor Lobo, she'd say. And then she moved in, and now if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be here. She found out I was not exaggerating. He drives her crazy. And I get it. I've learned to ignore him because I'm with him all day, every day. You know, I've had to learn to just kind of ignore the more annoying sides of him. But also, when you're trying to correct behavior, you can't really ignore it. So, dogs, boy, they are something. I love dogs. I just don't know that I like living with dogs. Because I think that my anxiety disorder doesn't do them any favors, and separation anxiety and the animal doesn't do me any favors, you know? So um we're gonna have to figure out if we can like straighten this or something. There's some friction. I bet it would. What if I unlocking emotes? Just finished streaming for the day. Thought I'd pop in and say hello. Time to get lunch. Hey, yeah, Kraft. Absolutely, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Get you some lunch. Enjoy. Hmm. I must wonder. I must wonder if I should have like cut off a length of this and tied it up with something suspended from it just to stretch it straight. Because I don't want a drastic curl. Like a little bit is fine, but I don't really want it. We're not going overboard on the whiskers. 6 on each side. plus 3 on each side on the brow. Any ideas, anyone? Anyone ever worked with monofilament bead cord? Like, there's some heat building up in the friction here. I would imagine that would start to straighten it out. It's not straightening it out very much. Shoot. I wonder if taking a hair dryer to it for a minute, like pulling it taut, and then running a hair dryer might straighten it some, you know? I think I'm going to give that a shot. I think I might give that a shot. So, when's our next break? Not for a while. If you guys don't mind, give me a couple minutes. I'm going to go just step into the bathroom, plug the hair dryer in, and run it over this for a minute or so. Let's see if we can't straighten it out to some extent. I feel like it should. A little bit of heat applied with some tension on the line should straighten it. But I guess time will tell. So, I'm going to put the BRB screen right up for a moment, and I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back with you guys. Yeah, that was pretty smart, if I do say so myself. That worked out tremendously. There you go. If you ever need to straighten some monofilament bead wire for anything, just You know, I just basically held it from the tip here and let it dangle and ran a hair dryer up and down the length of it real quick. Perfect. I think we're going to go with 3-inch segments. And that way, if it's a little bit long, we can trim it back. I might have to actually run and straighten out a little bit more here. We'll see. Hey. Oh yeah, I think we definitely will need some more. Come on. Hey. Hey, Hugh, what's up, man? Quiet day over here today. Hugh, we're finishing up at least the Jerboa portion of the project today. We'll finish up the rest of it on Thursday. How many is that? That's 6. And 1, 2. Need 4 more. And I'm going to need more wire. Yep. All right, I'm going to go straighten some more of this. I'll be right back. I won't bother with the BRB screen. I'll just be a minute. Basically, I'm going to go, if you're just coming in, I was thinking earlier, how do I straighten this so there's no curves in it? And I found that letting it hang with this weight and running a hair dryer over the length of it will straighten it out quite nicely. So give me a moment and I'm going to go do that and I'll be right back. Okay. I cut that little bit off there. You, how's your week going, man? If you're still there. Okay. Just gonna use these to get a little bit of a test fit first. I'll trim those back a little bit. Probably take about an inch off. And we'll cut them a little bit staggered. Let's do a test fitting on the other side. And Got a bit of paint over that one, so. Still not quite cleared, but. And again, we'll trim the length of those back some. Probably right in that ballpark right there. Uh-oh. Pulled one out. Okay. Let's start with this side and trim them back. I got glue everywhere. Yeah, I'm gonna lightly dab it. Basically, like get a little bubble, dab it, and stick it. Let's start with this side. I'm gonna trim these back. They're 3-inch strands. I'm gonna go with a 2.5 inch real quick just to kind of gauge. Do you use like a monofilament bead wire for the whiskers as well, or? Ah, see, I feel like almost taking it back to 2 inches. I mean, worst case scenario, I have to cut another 3-inch strand. Let's give it a shot. And it's only taken off a 1/2 inch on that, so. Because I don't want the whiskers to be excessive, you know. I think that's probably good. Also, what's this text message? Car sales. Get out of here. Generally, whiskers are curved, so the long ones are in the middle, the shorter ones, the top and bottom. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like on the outside ones, they'd be a bit long or a bit shorter. And then if we put the normal length in, I would still probably at least trim that back a half an inch because it's excessive, but. And then I don't know if it'll happen on stream, but I'll probably tease these a little bit with the hair dryer just to get them to kind of relax, you know? I got multiple. What? Never mind. Spam. All right, we'll cut this one at 2, roughly. Let's trim a half an inch off of this. In fact, I don't even know why I'm screwing with scissors at this point. Let me. Boy, somebody's going to have to vacuum today. Wait a minute. Why is this? Never mind. Oh no. It just kind of catapulted itself out of the hole. Okay. And then these ones are 2. And I'm cutting these at an angle, so it's not like a perfect straight cut. Oh, well. And then if I get these ones, if I can get them to curl back, we'll be in good shape. And I think I can do that with a hair dryer. All right. Let's go ahead and get that side stuck in. I'm going to clean up all these little strands because they're in the way. And it's getting confusing. And then maybe we'll go ahead and get that side fixed in place and then do the same on the other side. And before I do any of that, let me get a little bit of nicotine. The ones up above his brows, I'm probably only going to make those about 1.5 inches long and 3 on each side. All right, let's do this. If I can get my paint box out of the way. There we go. All right, gotta turn the fan off for that. Probably gonna go in there with a little dab of paint to cover that up. I don't like that shiny bit. Scraped a bit of glue off on the way in. One side done. That fan back on. All right, so 2.5, 2.5, and 2. Okay. Wait a minute, this isn't right. It's 2 inches and 2.5 in the middle. I'm a dummy. all of these get cut to 2 inches. I need to take care of that. Boop. Oh, Jesus, scared me. How's it going, Hugh? Think. Yep, that's right. Happy Tuesday to you, Hugh. This one is truly problematic. Happy cowbell? Okay, now let's trim these all down, get them in place, and then we'll start gluing them and putting them in for good. So 2 inches on all the remaining ones. Like I said, after the fact, I'll put some heat to kind of help position these guys. Gravity is going to do some of the work as well over time, of course, but all right, we got all of those in place. Let me clean up all these little shavings here, trimmings, and as they launch all over the place. Okay. Then we'll glue those in, and then it's on to the brows. I've got an idea with the brows, but we'll see. Okay. Nice work, man. Thank you, man. The Jabros. He is almost done, dude. We'll be finishing up the whole project on Thursday. Did you guys hear the news? I only just heard it last night. And I'm a huge fan of the series, and I cannot wait. Let me shut the hell up right now. We're getting more Dexter, and we don't even have to wait very long. December, a new Dexter series. I freaking love that show so much. Jabrowski. But yeah, in December, Dexter Original Sin comes out. And it takes place in 1991. It's a young Dexter. And then not only that, but we're getting another series called Resurrected. Dexter Resurrected. I'm not sure when that's supposed to come out. Probably not for a while yet, but... But I'm excited. Always be more excited or be excited for more Dexter. Cobra Kai. I've watched the first season or two, but I mean, they did a good job from what I saw. I don't know. It just didn't grab my attention and hold it for very long. And Minchie could care less about like Karate Kid and stuff. So, you know, when it comes to stuff we watch together, that's not an option. So,
It's time to take a short break. Stand up,
good Lord.
stretch and hydrate.
Already. All right. I need to find a very, very fine brush, and we're going to wet that little guy down. I'm going to get a little tiny dab of paint. Hello! You been here. Why are you saying hi? There we go. A little bit more. Take off that shine from that glue that kind of rubbed off there as it went in. And it only happened on that one. Be more like Yoda I am. Yeah, and then I'll basically like get the hair dryer, right? Use one hand and kind of pull them back this way. Hit it with heat. Oh, it's that song. It's so good. Hit it with heat and let gravity do the rest. For the brows, I think what we'll do is just stick 3 pieces together at the tip and plant it down in there. And let's cut a sample. Let's start with 3-inch strands. Curtis Mayfield, move on up. Yep. Yeah, such a good song. Oh shit, we're in an ad break. Man, I've been so terrible about that lately. I mean, there's only 6 people here and some of you are subbed, so. Oh shit. Well, I'm going to set these aside. We'll do the rest once the break is over. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, give me just give me a minute. We got about 2 minutes on the ads and then we'll get right back to it. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you in a minute. A kick into AI on a cartoon style of the image. See the trash you came up with? "15 seconds.
Welcome back. Let's get to it.
All right, let's do that. Again, sorry about that. Totally forgot about the ad break. Once again, I'm getting terrible. I get so focused on what I'm doing and trying to let me get to a spot where we can go on a break, and then I totally forget about the break. So what I'm thinking is we just go ahead and preempt. Where'd you go? Where? There it is. Preemptively glue these together, right? And then put them in there. I'm gonna trim them to 1/2 inch variations on 2 to 1. One full size. Take a 1/2 inch off. And then that way we only have to go back above here. That way we only have to stick it in there one time and risk glue exposure once instead of 3 times. And the way that I'm thinking about going about this is oh, you little bastard. Okay, let's boy, these things are hard to see and work with, you know? Now I let that dry. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. My stupid little nub on the end of my glove hit the wrong button, chat. Back over here. So I was trying to do anyway. And then we'll just position that in place. Once this is dry, we'll add a little bit more glue and stick it in there. It's still wet. That's where I wish I had a little bit of baking soda. Yep, still wet. Also, that way it gives it a little bit more adhesion. I think. Go ahead and give it a shot here. Well, that did not work. Nope, it's not dry yet. Damn it. Damn it. It was a thought. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Don't think that's gonna work. We'll let it sit there for a minute. Maybe? Nope. All right. All right. One by one. Got it. Start with the longest one. Shit. That could have been bad. Did I cut the other three? I did not, did I? All right, so we're gonna go 2.5. Two. And 2. What movie is this song in? All right, chat. We are like moments away from finishing this up, and the few of you that are here today will be here to witness it. How about that? Thank you guys, by the way. I really appreciate the support. Lately, I've been kind of feeling like I'm drowning as a little fish in a big fucking pond, you know? All right. I'll tell you what. Let me go get the hair dryer quick. And we're going to manipulate these little strands a little bit. Hopefully I have an open outlet. I should probably check. Let me see. Well, shoot. This plug will not fit into my power strip on my table because it has to go up. Stupid thing. Give me a second, chat. I'm gonna take him in and hit him with the hair dryer for just a minute. Okay, I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll spend a little bit more time with that, and that's definitely working. We got kind of a backwards angle on it now. These all bunched up kind of upsets me. I don't know why. The Doc Dabs. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. All right, folks. That's a wrap on the Jerboa. Now we just got to finish up his base. And we'll be finishing all of it up on Thursday. Completing the project that we've been working on all summer. And then next week we'll be well into starting a new project. So, and then I've got showcase videos to shoot. Get that up on YouTube, and I would very much like to get this submitted to the ARC devs too. Doc Dabs, your art is amazing. Thank you, man. I have fun with it. This project itself, as with many things, it's all, I mean, I started the YouTube channel and then streaming. It's all just a journey in creativity and learning, and this project was certainly no exception. It was my first animal, and first time using this method for fur. I don't know why I'm sitting here worried about, like, oh, the whiskers have to be symmetrical. That's absurd. But I do want to get them to kind of bend back a little bit. Like I said, I'll hit it more with the hair dryer. Just keep doing, like, kind of pull it backwards and hit this region in here with the hair dryer. The top is pretty good to go. I'm not happy with how these three strands want to all stick together, but I assume if I keep teasing it, we can get it to cooperate a bit more, presumably. Thank you. Yeah, I had sticky tack on his eyes while we were painting. And Saturday, I don't normally stream on the weekends, but occasionally I'll pop up with a little weekend stream. And Saturday, this past weekend, I was able to. And we got got all the painting and done around his eyes. And I got the sticky tack off, and oh man. Hey, getting his eyes back to visible with paint on, it was such a nice little moment there. What time is it, chat? 2:30. All right, sorry, I was just checking a message there. But yeah, we got the base right here. A cactus. We're attaching a cactus in here. The Jerboa tail this way, facing that way. Anchors right here. cactus will get attached in here, and then I've got some of that stringy gray moss. When we attach the cactus, I'll kind of fill in around the base of the cactus and have some of that stringy moss. I've had these things forever and no opportunity to use them yet. These are specifically for like model railroads and things like that. They're little miniature wheat bushes, but I figured we could take a couple of those and place them around like little dead growth areas. And then not a lot. We're not going to overdo it, but I may very well throw a little bit of this in there just to kind of bring it some life. I was thinking about, and maybe I still will, I was thinking about doing a little bit of dry brushing on the sand just to kind of break up the coloration a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I am probably going to sand this real quick and get that done. We got a base coat on here, but then of course when this is a lot of glue holding all of this, right? Painted on PVA glue, diluted PVA glue, pour the sand on, dump the extra. Then we've got the model spray glue and just saturate it with that and let it sit, you know, multiple times. So this, you might have a couple pieces that chip off or flake off, but it's pretty well on there. But in that process, of course, you're going to get glue. And that's why I was saying, like, when we started this is only a base and that is it, because we're going to have to go over it again. And that's part of the reason why. You'll inevitably get a little bit of glue buildup. It would probably be fine to just paint over it, but I like to give it just a little bit of a sand. Not too much because I don't want to lose our bevels, but just to kind of wear down any of that glue. And then we'll give it a final coat. And I can kind of feel the glue, right? So I'm just kind of going until I'm not getting any of those little bumps, little feeling. Again, not necessarily an essential step, but I like to do it just because I feel like it makes it look better in the end. You don't have any of the visible streaking from the glue. And of course I sanded it all down before we even put the initial coat on there. So this is only to strip off any liquid run areas from the glue. And also cut down some of that shine from the glue. What do you guys think though? Should we do a matte varnish on the black, or I think a gloss might be a little bit much. Especially the gloss that I have. That's high gloss, man. I think we'll stick with a matte. And then last thing we do on the base before we put it all together, we put the felt on the bottom, then we put the Jerboa in his place. And then a little bit of isopropyl. Oh shit, that could have been real bad. Thankfully, that was mostly dry. All right, mix this up. Then we'll go over the base here, and that should get us finished up for the day. I am gonna prop that up, actually. Oh shit, that would have been bad. Yeah, all those brushes need washed. Let's see. Where's my... Oh dear, what happened to this brush? Okay. We will have to use a little bit more of that spray glue, but we won't have to use it in a manner that is so messy. We'll be using it in spot treatment, basically, as opposed to entire surface coverage. So we should be able to control it to the point where I don't get it on the paint. Hopefully. It is real, but he doesn't want to say that. ID pot, id pot. How do you say that? Welcome in. Yeah, this is actually a taxidermy stream. Sorry, didn't mean to. I didn't mean to trick you guys to think this was sculpting. Boy, what a morbid career that would be, huh? I couldn't handle that. Say like you want. English streamers say my name better than the German. Yeah, I just like to make sure, you know. I know I'm not alone here. Number one, it can be challenging reading names altogether, and sometimes my brain just completely falls on its face in the moment, you know, and obvious things don't seem so obvious. How's it going, Rose? How we doing today?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. All right. I think what we're going to do, we're going to let that dry and hit it with a varnish. And that way, if we do get any glue on it on Thursday when we're doing the finishing touches on the base, it'll at least give me a chance that I can wipe it off without having to repaint. If I have to touch it up, it's fine. You guys, I mean, you saw how little time that takes to do, so it's not a huge deal, but all those brushes need cleaned proper. We are going to have to use one though. Let me see. Use this guy. Like Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill. I begin with vinyl collection and later also Sculpt. Same action, not so high price. And same high resin for What am I? Final collection. I know, I'm not sure. Those names sound familiar. Sanded some spikes and did a bit of photography. Oh, fun. I'm going to get to relearn how to use my DSLR camera here very, very soon. Because I got to shoot the showcase for this guy. And I don't want to use my phone. I want to get back in the habit of using my good camera. Especially because my phone, when shooting in 4K, after about 20 minutes, it's like, bro, I'm so hot right now. I can't do it anymore. And then I have to wait. Which is annoying. But while we wait on paint to dry, Rose, he's got whiskers. You can kind of see it from here. He's all done. He's just waiting for his base. And then, like I said, I'm going to tease the whisker hairs and take a hair dryer to it. And it'll help. It kind of helps shape those a little bit. Your voice is really quiet. I have to take care if I change the stream that the other one not to put out my ears. That's because I balance my audio properly and nobody else seems to. My voice on the meter comes to into the yellow, and if you're hitting in the red, which most people's are, it's not balanced right. Trust me, I get it, man. Some of the people I follow on YouTube, about 50% of them balance their audio properly, and then on the other videos, it like blows my ears out when I change, you know? I was actually on a stream the other day. A dude did not have any kind of noise gate. It was peaking. It was, oh my God. Made my speakers crackle and shit. I don't know. I won't go too hard on it, on that criticism, because audio is my least favorite part of any video production. It always has been, but that's one of the basics is balancing your audio to where your voice meter should be hitting yellow, and that's it. You have free emotes and they're cute? Yeah, yeah. I think all of the free emote slots that we have available are full, yeah. I'm glad you like them. I try to do most things on my stream myself, but emotes are one thing that I don't have time for. And honestly, working on that scale, I'm just not that great. So I have an artist that I go to for those. She's wonderful. And if anybody's looking for emotes, she's linked down in the panels. Her name is Reptilisa. Very fair pricing. Typically pretty quick turnaround, unless she's kind of swamped with work. But she's a great person, great artist. And you know what? The way I look at it, like, sure, I like to do everything myself for my stream because it's like me, you know. But if I have an opportunity where it saves me some time and I can support another artist, then by all means, I'm gonna do that. Okay, we should be good for a matte varnish quick, and I think this was matte varnish, but I don't remember, and I don't want it to be shiny, so let me grab another cup. We'll get a matte varnish on here, and then that should wrap it up for today, and that'll put us on track to finish everything on Thursday. No stream tomorrow, of course. I don't typically stream on Wednesdays. I was thinking about trying to do 4 days a week, but I think right now 3 days is fine. Maybe when things pick up, it is like the down season right now for streaming. We're kind of getting into the upswing, but summers are pretty quiet comparatively, and maybe when things get a little bit more consistent, I'll add another day on. But yeah, no stream tomorrow. I am gonna run some errands, get that all done, and then Thursday we'll finish this guy up. And then I'm gonna take the weekend to relax, probably start working on the showcase for this guy for the YouTube channel. And also I need to start building up my references for our next project. If you're new here and you're not sure what I might be referring to, we've already got our next project planned out. When I first started doing sculpting, or well, when I first made my return to sculpting, I should say, I was just doing YouTube content, right? And I started a little series called Sculpting 90s Nicktoons. And I made Ickis and Crumb from Real Monsters. And it's long overdue that I complete the trio. So we're going to sculpt Oblina, which admittedly I feel a little bit weird about after doing this Jerboa, something super high detailed. Oblina feels real basic. But we'll have fun with it, you know? Yeah, exactly, ID. Yeah. And you know, even if I am competent, my time is limited, just like everybody's. We were just talking about it earlier. I've got a project list of all these things I want to do, and I don't possibly know how I'll ever have the time to do all of them. Even if we can do all the things, it doesn't necessarily mean we should. And also, as artists, I think it's important that we remember that it's fun to be a one-man show, you know? It's fun to show and prove to yourself that you can do it. But like, why not save myself some time and support another artist in the process is the way I look at it. Or don't even save myself time, just open the door for more projects, really, you know? Time that I spend on emotes is time that I could spend sculpting. And that's pretty much why I did it. It was like, okay, well, I could spend extra time working on emotes, or I could spend the time working on the stream and the sculpt. So. Doing the posting on the Discord? Nice, Rose. Okay. I'm going to pour that extra varnish back in here. If I can, there we go. That thing, I swear, man, it like glues itself shut. And with that, we are good to go for the day. Set him back here. We'll bring the Jerboa forward here. Better look at him. So today what we did, of course yesterday we added the stripes on the back. Very subtle, but they're there. That was the plan. And then today I went over with a little bit more dry brushing. We went over him with the matte varnish, of course. We put the whiskers in, did a few touch-ups. Gloss varnish on the nails. Boy, that is shiny. There's definitely a gloss. And what we might do, once we get them in position, get a very dry brush, like one that hasn't even been wet down. Maybe put a little bit of linen on the brush and wipe almost all of that paint off and just right across the toenails, just to dust them up a little bit, you know. I'm really happy with how this guy's been. He's come a long way. He started off looking like a deranged Jerboa or Charmander. And there he is today. Got some of Nala's funny faces. Oh, nice. 3 of the fur babies from next door. Wait, like dogs or cats or what are we talking? That can be thrown away. All that needs washed. Some of Miss Beagle and some of Cat's. Oh, nice. Let's reorganize this a little bit. And let me get these gloves off because we are done for today anyway. For today anyway. We're going to hop over here. And you guys, let's see. ID, do you want to see where this guy started? We'll take a little trip down memory lane here. In the meantime, let me throw a couple links at you guys. First and foremost, there's a link to the main YouTube channel. You will be seeing a full showcase for this guy and all projects that we do here on the stream. Once they're completed, I'll do a proper showcase video. And there's already one for the first sculpt we completed on stream right before the Jerboa, our Creepy Candle. He's got a showcase over there. Love that guy. And Creepy Candles may be making a return, albeit with a little slight modification and twist sometime here in the future. Basically, I've gotten a lot of interest in those candles, and I feel like maybe I can shrink them down a little bit because those candles are like a foot tall, right? And the candle holders that I attach to them are not cheap. So in an effort to keep material costs down, I would like to find a way to condense the candles down to about half size and fit a proper actual tea light candle, like an actual candle instead of the LEDs that I use. And I want to find some bases or candle holders rather that are nice but inexpensive, and then we can make it as something that's available for purchase, right? Might even turn into a potential molding and casting project, because that's something I want to get into. I've never done it, and I very much want to try. I don't know if a 2-part mold, silicone mold, we'll see. It kind of probably just depends on the project, but we'll start simple and work from there. Because again, this has always been about learning and creative journeys, so it kind of fits, kind of perfect. But anyway, also link in the chat to the Discord, best place to find all the latest updates on the channel, the stream, any updates or changes to the schedule. We talk about future projects in there. There's channels where you can show what you're working on. And starting this month, on the last Thursday stream of each month, we will be doing a community showcase where we're taking a look at what you guys have been working on. So all of that's in there. You can also let us know when you're going live. We love to see it, and we love to show support for one another. So hope to see you there. But anyway, let's hop over here. There's the candle, of course. It was a lot of fun. I do enjoy making my creepy candles. But yeah, basically I'd like to look into making those a bit more smaller and reduce the cost on them, so that it is something tangible that could be put up for purchase. Because I love the idea of being able to sell my artwork, but it's not like, the funny thing is I hate trying to put a price on my artwork.
It's time to take a short break. Stand up, stretch and hydrate.
Really? Really though? Let's snooze that. But I don't want my art to be priced out of any, you know what I mean? Like that Jerboa, man, that's 150 to 200 hours, right? And even at a $20 an hour rate, right? Which is pretty humble considering that's $1,500 to $2,000. And I don't feel okay about that. I just don't. I want to make nice things that are attainable for everyone. So that's kind of what I'm working on in my head. Little ideas that I can still sculpt and like not neuter myself and my ability, you know what I mean? Still make detailed, fun projects, but make them to where I can sell them at a price that's not out of reach for a lot of folks, But anyway, this is where we started. Right. Oh boy, he's a derpy ass looking Charmander thing. And we decided to change his eye color, thankfully. I'm glad we did. Excuse. A little bit further into the process, we started shaping him up, working on the face, got the eyes in there. Started working on our etched in texture detail. Added the ears, whisker holes, all that. And I gotta say, again, my first animal sculpt and my first time using this method for fur. Obviously, when you're adding fur, just like fur naturally does on a real animal, it bulks out, right? I didn't put a lot of thought into that, admittedly. I'm ashamed to admit it, but like I knew it was going to get bigger as we worked on adding. Why does it say ad is about to start? What is going on, Twitch? Snooze. But anyway, so yeah, obviously the fur bulks out, and I knew he would, because I was even saying like these ears look huge right now. It'll look better once we start putting fur on. But even still, I'm kind of surprised myself. Maybe even lucked out a bit on how well it came together. when we started adding the fur. That's day one of, I think, adding fur, if I'm not mistaken. And started working on the ears. And that's our last update right there. So yeah, it's been a fun project. It almost drove me crazy a couple times. But we made it. Nearly finished. And like I said, on Thursday we'll be back and working on the base and finishing that up and then get it all assembled. All right. So that is the plan. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out today. I had a lot of fun. It's been quiet. Tuesdays are always weird. I never know what to expect on Tuesdays. Sometimes it's a lively stream and sometimes it's super quiet. And Tuesdays are just inconsistent like that. So I certainly appreciate the support. Some of you guys are here like every stream, and I cannot thank you enough for that level of incredible support. Obviously, we all have lives going on. We all have things that we have to do and take care of and tend to. And I myself, I can't dedicate enough time to supporting folks on Twitch the way I would like to. You know, life gets in the way. My own obligations get in the way. My own projects get in the way. But I try to where I can. And it means the world to me for those of you that really make it a point to show that support, whether it's just leaving a lurk because you can't be here. I do the same. And that means a lot. It really does. Those efforts do not go unnoticed. So thank you for that. It really means the world to me, especially starting out here on Twitch. Like I said, it's hard to not feel like a little tiny fish in a really big giant pond. So thank you for that support. Truly. What do we got? Let's take a look. We got one more snooze left and an ad break creeping up on us, as always. Let's see if we can go.
And I'm like, oh, original
hey,
news host
hi.
there because I'm a girl, you know.
Be quiet, front page. Dude on the front page looks like John Oliver with like 30 pounds. Who's streaming right now? You know what? I see a line script. I see a Linecraft restreaming. Linecraft, he's a great person, first and foremost, a friend of ours here on the channel, and a wonderful artist. A traditional pen and ink artist. And boy, I'll tell you, one of these days soon, I'm going to be making a purchase, and one of his pieces is going to be hanging on my wall, right alongside my Andy Mecha crow head. Like I said, guys, it's not talk. I love art. I found a home here on Twitch in this creative community. And I think it's important, especially now more than ever, to show support to artists that we appreciate. And yeah, check their stores, man. You know, I'm saying that as someone that doesn't even have one. Check their stores. Show support to artists that you love, because it's a lot of work and a lot of time, and oftentimes very little, if any, return, right? Now, granted, most of us are doing this partially for ourselves, but I know it means the world to all of us when we can support ourselves with something we love to do, right? So, anyway, here comes that ad break again. Snooze for 5 minutes. Let's stop the rambling. And let's go say hello to Linecraft. I'll give you a little preview of what we're talking about here. He's working on a picture that I think this is the same one he's been working on off and on for quite some time, and he's committed to finishing it. So I'm telling you right now, if you're not familiar with Line, just wait till we get over here. Like, look at this, man. The amount of time and energy and like the things that he makes from this process, it's incredible. It truly is. So I hope you'll come join us. Guys, thank you so much for a wonderful stream today. Let's head on over and say our thank yous. Doc Dabs, thank you so much for that follow today. Very much appreciate it. And other than that, like I said, it's been relatively quiet stream today. It's Tuesday. You never know what to expect. But I certainly had a blast with those of you that were here. So thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out and chatting with me. I had a fun time, nice conversations today. And all you lurkers out there, very much appreciate you. Thank you for that. Certainly. Again, no stream tomorrow. I'll be back at it Thursday, probably around noon, 1 o'clock Eastern time. And until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday and the rest of your day today. Let me get the raid calls out. Non-subs, there's one for you. Get that copied, ready to go. We'll throw these in Line Crafters chat when we head over there. And subs, there's the raid call for you. I'm going to get that copied as well. Make sure we're ready to go. And guys, once again, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for some fine conversations today. A nice stream. We got a lot done. We'll be finishing him up on Thursday. I will see you guys then. Until then, take care. And let me queue up this raid. And I will see you guys over there. Minecraft. Let's do it. All right, we are queued up. Raiders, get ready with your raid calls. I will see you on the other side. And then I'll see you back here on Thursday. Guys, have a great rest of your Tuesday. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I'll see you at Linecrafteries. Thank you again for a wonderful stream. Bye, guys. You too, ID. Have a good night. Rose, you as well. I'll see you guys over there.